Bible Stories 16. Abram rescues Lot. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. See Psalm 25, verse 4. Abram lived in peace with the nations that surrounded him. The people around him could see that he was gentle, peaceful, honest, and kind. Whenever he could, he would share with them about the wonderful God that he worshipped. One day some messengers came to tell him that there had been a battle between 5 of the Canaanite kings and 5 other kings, and that during this battle the enemy kings had captured prisoners. Among those prisoners was Lot and his family. Forgetting to ask God what to do, Abram quickly prepared his men for battle, and they went off to rescue Lot and his family. Abram didn't even think much about it. The people in Canaan simply went to battle when someone they loved needed to be rescued, so this is what Abram did. He and his men were successful. They killed the enemies and ended up saving Lot, his family, many other Canaanite prisoners, and all the spoil, the valuables that the armies had taken from the surrounding cities. This was not the way in which God would have told Abram to rescue Lot. He didn't want Abram and his family to take swords and kill men. Now, Abram would be haunted by nightmares and unrest because of the violence he had seen and done. Abram did what he thought was best, even though it wasn't best, yet he was successful in battle because the enemy kings were so wicked that they had already lost God's protection. This made it possible for Abram to win the battle. Abram returned home. He brought back the people who had been prisoners and all the things that the other army had stolen. As he arrived, he met 2 kings who wanted to celebrate his victory with him. The first was the king of Sodom, and the second was Melchizedek, the king of Salem. Melchizedek, the king of Salem, brought bread and wine for Abram to eat. This was special because Melchizedek wasn't only a king, he was also a priest of God. He wanted to bless Abram by bringing him this bread and wine. This would reassure Abram of God's love because Abram felt troubled after all the killing he had done in battle. The king of Sodom thanked him for saving all the people and said, Abram, please take all the goods from the battle, keep them for yourself. But Abram refused to keep anything. Instead, he gave a tithe or 1/10 of the goods to Melchizedek because Melchizedek was a priest. The rest of the goods were given to the king of Sodom. Abram wanted everyone to know that all that he had came from God. His needs were always provided by God, and that he had not fought this battle to make himself rich. All he had wanted was to save his nephew. But Abram was troubled after this. He had always been a man of peace, and now, to save his nephew, he and his men had gone and killed several people. Somehow, he knew that this had never been God's plan, and that he should have consulted with God before going off to battle. This event in Abram's life helped him to learn to consult God first and to ask him to help him know what to do and how to do it. How comforted Abram was with Melchizedek's blessing. Abram knew that even though the other kings thought he was a hero, he could have done things differently. He could have done things God's way. Will you remember to ask God before making any important decisions? He wants to show you the best way to do things, and if you ask Him, He will gladly help you. Amen.